Yeah, that. What you got on?
Very nice suit.
That's a very nice suit. That's a clown suit. That's a costume with a big sign on it that says you stacks. You understand? You're too loud.
The super producer.
The loudest one in the room is the weakest one in the room. I told you.
Let's get it, I got it, I'm ready, my lord. Whole trick solid, everybody on board. Say they won't smoke, that this shit they can't afford. These niggas weak, no cap, I go hard. And I know these niggas mad, I ain't tripping, I'm good. One call, then fall, oh, you don't make me do it. Everybody niggas taking your city on guard. Look, I got something for all you haters. Dumb thinking is sweet, get all the flavors. You niggas suckers like you candy coated. Grab the 40, let it blam, reload it. Couple sticks on me, think it's dynamite from that damn explosion. Look, homie, all I'm saying, you better chill. You think you got the game, you ain't even in the field. You say you ready to die, you ain't even gonna write a will. I gotta leave you and make bail before the appeal. I'm war ready, heavy artillery like a Mando. Who boots grade ammo, feeling fresh like a bando. I'm one wet, got a vest, lot of ammo. Big blade, face paint like I'm Rambo. Shit, I make rappers gon' rip their book up. I walk up on you real time with my hood up. Send your ass under with a ladder, it ain't good luck. Let's get it, I got it, I'm ready, my lord. Whole trick solid, everybody on board. Say they won't smoke, that this shit they can't afford. These niggas weak, no cap, I go hard. And I know these niggas mad, I ain't tripping, I'm good. One call, then fall, oh, you don't make me do it. Everybody niggas taking your city on guard. Wait a minute, let me check my watch, time to go to work. Bitch, I'm right back, get my bag, about to go berserk. Oh, that nigga left here, oh, tell him go to church. Say that they got niggas, okay, guess I gotta get it first. The truth hurt, I'm on fire, let it burn a bit. Fuck the hoe, cut that bitch out like a tourniquet. Cut them up, nip tuck, then I put them on the bed. Everything I drop, heavy little nigga, watch your head. Yeah, he ain't one west, he a fed. I claim on 25th, UPK thoroughbred. Oh, he made one up, I ain't worried about a damn thing. Nigga, I'm strapped down, put it like a hamstring. Just touched down, finna fly down, Casey Drive. Such kick times gonna be very hard to stay alive. Bitch, we outside, so you know you can't stand there. Said if I gon' die for this shit, I told him, hell yeah. Let's get it, I got it, I'm ready, my lord. Whole trick solid, everybody on board. Say they won't smoke, that this shit they can't afford. These niggas weak, no cap, I go hard. And I know these niggas mad, I ain't tripping, I'm good. One call, then fall, oh, you don't make me do it. Everybody niggas taking your city on guard.
You know, if you wasn't my brother, I'd kill you. You know that, don't you? I'd blow your motherfucking brains out. You know that.
All right. Clap it up. Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. It is Monday, the history breakdown class, where we break it down line upon line, precept upon precept, here a little, there a little, using the external references to back up internally what is in the Bible, the book. All right. So I know I said we were going to pick up where we left off on the fruits of the spirit. We're going to do that next week in light of what's going on this week. I completely forgot that it was Thanksgiving week, right? So what more important topic to discuss than the history of Thanksgiving? All right. So we're going to start off with a very important scripture to segue to give you understanding. I believe all y'all got the slides that I sent. All right, no sweat. All right, so we're gonna start off with Amos 5:21. I think that is the best scripture to kick off this subject matter. Matter of fact, the first three scriptures we're going to pull, it's going to come from the book of Amos, or Amos, what have you, as General Q would say, you know what I'm saying? So let's go to Amos, what I say, 5:21, 5:21. Whoever has it, go ahead and read it.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
I hate, I despise your feast days.
Say that one more time.
I hate, I despise your feast days.
Mm-hmm.
And I will not smell in your solemn assemblies.
Keep reading verse 22.
Though ye offer me burnt offerings
Mm-hmm.
and your meat offerings,
Mm-hmm.
I will not accept them.
Mm-hmm.
Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts.
Now imagine you offering a peace offering to the Lord, but the sacrifices that you're having in your solemn assembly is about warfare and bloodshed amongst your own people. Imagine the mindset of the Lord of an assembly that you're supposed to be having, and you're the Lord's people, and the assembly that you're having is about the massacre of one of your family members. It's no different than the mindset of when Christ comes back and he sees you adorning a cross around your neck, a symbol of death. It's like if somebody murdered your mother with an AK-47 and everybody rocking AK-47s because they saying they love your mother. It's blasphemous, man. How can you say that you love your people, but we constantly celebrating and we're shrouding in things that amalgamate and associate death with our people? You understand what I'm saying? So the Lord hates our solemn assembly because all of our solemn assembly, it's like what the scripture says. It says that my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge because a gift has destroyed your heart. You have the gift of being off. You know what I'm saying? So this is the only time that our family can come together. So we're going to celebrate Thanksgiving. The Lord hates your solemn assembly. He would rather you suffer work and oppression than to celebrate on a day that's built upon the mass murder. And you're gonna understand how it's genocide level what we're about to go over. And the Lord hates it, man. Like how can you say you love the Lord whom you don't see, but you celebrating the mass murder of your brothers whom you do see every day? And what's crazy is it's no different in the spirit of the YNs today. You know what I'm saying? We smoking on Tuka. We smoking on the ops. But the ops your brother. It's not your oppressor who's really the opposition, who's really the one that's always been in the way. But you want to smoke on your brother that's trying to walk in the way with you, that's struggling with you. That's what we doing this week. All right. Somebody give me I'm gonna be pulling scriptures as we going through the story. The first slide is the one that starts off with Captain Miles Standish. All right. So we gonna get in to the history, and while we reading, somebody go ahead and hold these next two scriptures for me. Amos 4 and 1, and then Amos 8 and 10. Those are the next two scriptures that we're going to touch upon as we're going through this. All right, go ahead. Whoever got it, whoever want to start off, and we'll rotate on the reading so the burden ain't just on one brother. Go ahead.
Captain Miles Standish.
Mm-hmm.
The leader of the Pilgrims.
Oh, the volume is all the way down on the back of the deal. All right. So while he's doing that, I mean, so for the most part, the misnomer of the story of Thanksgiving, the story that they push is Squanto and his brother. They came and met the Pilgrims. The Pilgrims didn't have any food, so Squanto and his brother, they went and got their family and they broke bread with the pilgrims that came over, right? And we're gonna find out that that story is a fantasy that they push in grade school to cover their shame and to cover their sin. All right, go ahead.
Captain Miles Standish,
Mm-hmm.
the leader of the Pilgrims,
Mm-hmm.
invited Squanto, Somerset,
Mm-hmm. Masawit.
Masawit,
Mm-hmm.
the leader of the Wampanoag.
Mm-hmm. Now, quick question. Does anybody know what a pilgrim is? Go ahead, sis.
Like I said, is it one of the people who came like they're on a pilgrimage from another world to this one? That's why they're called pilgrims.
Yes, right. But okay, if I ask this, if I ask the question, it's gonna kind of give the answer. Okay, what was specific about the pilgrims that were sent here?
Like I said, is it
Give it a mic. Give it the other mic. Yeah, we got two mics, man. Leave one over there.
so like I said, was it because they were like the ex-cons and like stuff like that?
Give her a hand. You know what I'm saying? So now understand this, right? So the British were famous for something, right? When they wanted, and this is really where Fidel Castro got the idea for the Bay of Pigs, right? It came from the British, right? When the British wanted to colonize an area, right, they would unleash the worst of their overcrowded prison system. So they would give the prisoners like the ones that was facing the death sentence. So look, you got two options. You can die or you can go to exile. You understand? And help settle another land. Right? So the pilgrims that were sent over here, it was a slave, not slave, it was a prisoner envoy. Like how they have the buses going from the county jail to the prison. So America was the pilgrims they sent over here. It was a prison for them. The pilgrims that they sent over to Australia, that was a prison colony. Australia was a prison colony. You understand? And the British got the idea from the Romans, which lets you know that we're still under Roman tyranny. Because when Romans wanted to put the worst of their prisoners, the ones that would incite rebellion against the Roman army, they would exile you on the island, i.e. John, when he wrote the book of Revelation, he was exiled on the island of Patmos to die. He was left there to die. That was his prison and island. You had to figure it out, whether you lived to survive, whatever food that you had, how you scavenged, it was on you. They just dropped you off on the island. Hey, you know what I'm saying? They gave you peace in Hebrew, peace in English. You know what I'm saying? And that was it. You know what I'm saying? So that's so the pilgrimage that they set them on here, it was a prisoner transfer. All right. So the pilgrims that came here, it was all men, it was no women. So keep that in mind as we're setting the stage for what we're about to read. All right. Keep reading.
And their immediate families to join them for a celebration.
Mm-hmm.
As the Thanksgiving feast began, the pilgrims were overwhelmed at the large turnout of 90 relatives that Squanto and Somerset brought with them.
Mm-hmm.
The pilgrims were not prepared to feed a gathering of people that large for 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing this, Massasoit gave orders to his men
within the first hour of his arrival.
Hold on. I think we reading it backwards. Hold on. No, that's right. Go ahead. You're right. Go ahead.
Seeing this, Massasoit gave orders to his men within the first hour of his arrival to go home and get more food.
To do what?
To go home and get more food.
Mm-hmm.
Thus it happened that the Indians supplied the majority of the food.
All right. So the first fabrication, right, was that the pilgrims you know, they made a huge Thanksgiving to break bread with the Native Americans, you know, to say, hey, we're friends, right? But in actuality, the Native Americans were the ones that supplied the food for what it is to be called Thanksgiving. But what we're going to find out is what you're reading about here was really kind of like a breaking of the bread. That's not really Thanksgiving, is what we're about to find out. Okay? Keep reading.
Contrary to the fabricated lore.
To the what?
To the fabricated lore.
What does fabrication mean? Yeah, a complete fallacy, a lie. All right. So contrary to the big old lie that we made up. Keep reading.
Of storytelling generations.
Uh-huh.
No pilgrims prayed at the meal.
No pilgrims did what?
Prayed at the meal.
So that means Thanksgiving isn't about everybody standing around holding hands and telling the Lord what they're thankful for the year. That's a lie. So everything that they propagate and promote, it's a lie. You know, and you know, it's two holidays that Christians that they're gonna celebrate. Well, three: Easter, Christmas, Thanksgiving. Let's find out. Keep reading.
What's more, they consumed a good meal of home brew.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, each pilgrim drank at least a half-gallon of beer a day.
They drunk how much?
At least a half-gallon of beer a day,
Mm-hmm.
which they preferred even to water.
Mm-hmm.
This daily inebriation led their governor, William Bradford, to comment on his people's notorious sin.
Oh, so not only where the people, when they had Thanksgiving, the feast had nothing to do with being thankful. They weren't praying, right? So after they had their feast, they were like, okay, we just in this land, what do? Well, we know how to make beer, so let's just get drunk every day, right? That's what most prisoners do to pass the time behind the wall. They make hooch. You understand? And they pack things in their cavities, you know, so they can do other things in prison, you know, like smoke weed. You know, if you smoke weed in prison, just know it came out somebody a-hole. You know, if you're tooting cocaine in prison, just know that 8-ball came out somebody a-hole. You understand? If you doing heroin in prison, just know that without that 10-4 that you're doing, it came out somebody booty hole. You understand? We about to find out why they do it, because it comes from something. Let's find out what it comes from. Keep reading.
Which included their drunkenness
Mm-hmm.
and uncleanliness
Mm-hmm.
and rampant sodomy.
And rampant what?
Sodomy.
Rampant what?
Sodomy.
Man, they put the echo on it when he said sodomy. You understand? So they would spend their days. Yeah, because remember, there's no women. You understand? It's only men. So they would get drunk because, you know, in order to do that, you got to remove all your inhibitions. You got to remove all your morals. You understand? And when they got down, they was about man's butt. You understand? The pilgrims was making a pilgrimage. You understand? They were sodomites. You understand? They were booty bandits, literally. Because that's all they did. You understand? They was about the booty. They was about robbing, stealing and getting booty, and getting drunk and taking booty. That's all they did. You understand? So either they robbed when they robbed the Native Americans, they would steal the women, kidnap the women, rape the women, And if they couldn't kidnap and rape the women, they were still horny. So they raped each other. This is prison behavior. This spirit has been in America since its inception because America was a prison colony. They sent the prisoners to break the locals. Is that not what prisoners do when they get fresh people on the scene? They try and beguile them like, yeah, we're friends. We're friends. And before you know it, you walking around holding somebody's pocket. You understand? So they would get drunk and they were known for rampant sodomy. Keep reading.
Later, as the pilgrims grew in number, they started showing intolerance to the Indians and their religion.
To the what?
To the Indians and their religion.
So, one thing that you have to understand, right? So this festival, well, we're gonna think they're gonna go a little bit more into it. I don't want to get ahead of myself, right? Well, hell, I'll give the precursor, right? So the festival that we're about to get into that sets the foundation for the first Thanksgiving, right, was the Green Corn Festival, right? Does anybody know what is the Native American Green Corn Festival? I mean, you kind of stole my thunder. You know what I'm saying? Like, you kind of stole my thunder, brother. I was building up to that. Is what? Okay, why is it spring? Okay, so yes, but okay, so when things start to grow, when all fruits and vegetables are in their unripeness, what color are they? They're green, right? So the Green Corn Festival it is their new year because it is when everything is anew, right? So, and if you didn't know, the month that we have Passover is the month of Abib, right? Or Abiyab in the Hebrew, which translates to green ear of corn. Which further lets you know that the Native Americans were our people. So when it says that their religion, or more or less their culture, became intolerant to them, right? Because when you see someone, a people that is clean and righteousness, what does that make you reflect on yourself? That you're what? That you're dirty. You understand? When you see a people moving a certain way that you don't move, it's going to reflect that there's something wrong with you. Well, why they not taking man's butt? Why they not getting drunk? You understand? Why are they so organized? Why are they meeting? Why are they meeting in this temple? Why are they singing these songs? Why is there such structure when they gather? I mean, we're in a free land. We should just be able to do what we want. What do they think they're better than us? I got something for them. This is the spirit of your oppressor, right? Which is also the spirit that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that we have towards one another. Who does she think she is? Oh, that brother think he clean. I don't like that. I'm going to drop a dime on that. Because you have the spirit, like Christ, like what Christ told Peter. You understand? You are of your father, the devil. Get thee behind me, Satan. We have the spirit of our oppressor, the same spirit that was in the incubation, the incubus of this nation. You want to know why we have rampant sodomy all over television? Because it was in the incubation of this nation. that is in the spirit of the people of this nation. Like when white boys on the football team, when they play pranks, it's always some gay stuff. White boys in the military, it's always some gay stuff. Like I had a homeboy, Chris, I used to work with when I worked at Comcast, right? When I worked for Xfinity, right? Turn the speaker so don't do it. That's why we had to turn that way. So he would tell me, like, if you got caught sleeping, you know what I'm saying? They would take pictures of you sleep. A dude would put his balls on your face. They would teabag you in your sleep. You understand what I'm saying? They think that's funny because they're what? White. And what? Gay. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna call it what it is. You know what I'm saying? And you too, let's just keep it a bean. We just talking about the nation's history. This is facts. Like, these are the facts of this nation. Like, white boys, they do some weird stuff, man. You understand? All right, so let's get back to it. You can start again later as they grew in number of where we were.
Later, as they grew, as the Pilgrims grew in number, they started showing intolerance to the Indians and their religion. The relationship deteriorated. Any Indian who came within the vicinity of the Pilgrim settlement was subject to robbery, enslavement, or even murder.
Say that again.
Any Indian who came within the vicinity of the Pilgrim settlement was subject to robbery, enslavement, or even murder.
So this is what it is. You understand? So you have a nation of people, right, that are here, that are flourishing, a flourishing nation. You understand? Matter of fact, next class, I'm going to bring a book that's called 500 Tribes of Native Americans in America, right? And it has old pictures and reliefs from settlers that came of these Native American cities. Like, they weren't just teepees and huts. They had cities. We're talking about aqueducts, aquifers. You know what I'm saying? They had their own water and wastewater filtration system. They had houses. They had homes. They weren't just walking around with teepees tied to a horse being nomadic. There were cities. And they were jealous of this because the Pilgrims were the ones that were in huts. See, the story is told in reverse because they want you to reflect on his story. Everything that you've been told about you has been a lie, and a lot of times it's actually in reverse. Because when I bring out these pictures of these Native American cities, it'll blow your mind. And you'll understand why the Smithsonian swept so much stuff under the rug. But here we have this advanced civilization that's here, and these pilgrims that were just sent, these prisoners that was just sent over here that couldn't fend for themselves, we had mercy upon them. We taught them how to do agriculture. We taught them how to till the land. We taught them, where not to go, how to survive for the mosquitoes. You understand? We taught them how to live and survive in the season so that they would not die. And how did that return that kindness? With robbery, kidnapping, enslavement, and murder. What were you about to say, Yahweh? Give Yahweh the mic.
What you said, the Smithsonian buried it or whatnot? Speak
a little louder.
When you said something.
When I say speak louder, like.
Okay, when you said something about the Smithsonian,
hiding
everything. That's why they always buy all the ancient stuff. If anybody's buying
So
stuff.
and look, man, and the more and more that I do research, the more and more I learn how diabolical the Smithsonian is, right? So like right now, you know, like I'm real big in the Grand Canyon right now. Like one of the trips that I'm gonna take here real soon, I'm gonna take 2 trips, right? I want to go to Teotihuacan in Mexico, right? And I want to go to Sedona Canyon in Arizona, right? So in Sedona, they got all of these released in relics. There's a book that's been recently published showing Egyptian artifacts here in America, right? So I'm talking about like huge pyramid with Sphinx in front of it that's been wiped away from a great deluge, right? So, and we know what's a great deluge, what? The flood in Genesis, right? So I'm talking about they have huge statues of Tahuti, of Ramses, Anubis. You know what I'm saying? You can see the what's left of the statue. Like they'll put like a modern statue that you can see all the detail in physical Egypt, and then they'll put like the erosion of a figure that's in the Grand Canyon, and side by side it is what for what. And to show you like how the Smithsonian moves, the person that originally found this is the same person that went on the what's the dude's name? He went on the first person to journey to the South Pole. Good night. Doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? But he's the person that discovered it, and he asked for funding for the Smithsonian. And then when they found this area, and then they found this open canyon with all of these different chambers in it, you understand, with mummies and all this stuff or whatever, they close it down. So you can't even go in certain areas. Like if you go in certain areas, they'll have a Tomahawk helicopter fly over, and they'll send like a Army Ranger to turn you around in the Grand Canyon. Yeah. They'll you know what I'm saying? Right. You know what I'm saying? So this lets you know how diabolical these people are. You understand? And how much civilization was over here that they've tried to hide and sweep under the rug. You understand? And which can show you the reason even more so why they were so jealous. You understand? And they were so sick of seeing us thrive and happy and be free and loving and compassionate towards one another. Why are they so happy? That's the same spirit that we have towards one another. What he got to be happy about? I'm working 20 hours a week. 20 hours a day, 12 hours a day, 18-hour shifts. I'm doing doubles, no sleep. He walking around here, oh, happy day. I've been on the slave for 2 days. Oh, no, I'm going to show him what to be happy about. You set your brother up. You set your sister up. You line your brother up. You line your sister up. Because you got the spirit of your oppressor, which is the spirit that they've had since the beginning. You understand? Keep reading. What's that white boy? Go ahead.
The pilgrims further advertised their evil intentions when they mounted 5 cannons on a hill around their settlement, constructed a platform for artillery, and then organized their soldiers into 4 companies, all in preparation for the military destruction of the Native American Indians.
The what?
All in preparation for the military destruction of the Native American Indians.
This is the spirit of what you're about to learn what Thanksgiving is. It's all about your destruction. That's what you're about to be celebrating. And you're about to find out how grievous it was. And then when I pull these scriptures in Amos, you're going to see why the Lord is so angry with your feast days. Keep reading.
Pilgrim Miles Standish went to the Indians, pretended to be a trader.
Say that one more time.
Pilgrims Miles Standish went to the Indians, pretended to be a trader.
Matter of fact, give me just to show you this is the same spirit that he's had from the beginning. We're gonna go back to where we just finished, Genesis. Somebody give me Genesis 27 and 39. So we can find out. Look, she's just gonna go straight to her notes. Let's go to the blessing of Esau, right? So we can find out why Miles Standish is doing what he's doing. When you got it, go ahead and read it. Genesis chapter 27, verse 39. And you're going to read the 40.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 27, verse 39.
Mm-hmm.
And Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, before thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth.
All right, so he said that Esau's okay, so one thing you got to know. So Jacob was given the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven, right? So Jacob was given the fatness of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth. So that's why it don't matter what position you put blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans in, we gonna make it shake. Like we will turn the things that you don't like into delicacies, i.e. lingua. I.e., and if you don't know what lingua is, lingua tacos, that's beef tongue. You understand? Barbacoa, that's the cheek meat. Oxtails, even though it's unlawful, chitlins. You know what I'm saying? But on the righteous side, menudo. Menudo is beef intestines. If you didn't know that. That's what menudo is. It's beef intestines. Man, I'll tear some menudo up, man. Oh yeah, no. You know what I'm saying? But I'll tear some menudo up. You understand? So that's who we are. And so much so, oxtails is $4.50 a pound. That's where it started off at. You go there now, it's dang on near $15, $20 a pound now. You know what I'm saying? We used to be able to just go to the store like, hey, just give me the tail. Y'all gonna throw that away. It went from they just give it to you because, you know, who gonna buy an oxtail? You know what I'm saying? To when I was growing up, they'd be like $4 a pound, but now they like $20 to $30 a pound. That's why when you go to the Bunyamian spot, oxtails cost $40. Look, who had a hand up? Go ahead. Hey man,
They only did.
Yeah, man. You ain't talking to your rib on the phone, man. This man got the Barry White was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying. I mean, you know what they be doing is, you know, Nah, go ahead.
He said that because they really only did it just because we like them. They know we gonna buy it.
Yeah. Look, the sooner you understand that the wealth of America is set up of rackets advertised to you, the moment you'll wake up and realize how wealthy you are. Like it says in Revelations 2:9, it says, I know thy poverty, but what? Thou art rich. because you're royalty. Anything you do, everybody wants to do it. They got Russian and East Indian battle rap now. Go ahead, sis.
Like the Asian people now, they like get their hair done so they can have a fro, so they can have waves,
dreads. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking about, and I ain't talking about like the white people. I'm talking about they have a whole process so they can look like they fresh out of Atlanta with the dreads. You know what I'm saying? They getting wigs. Asians with wigs. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. They will sit in a chair for 16 hours. 16 hours to look like 21 Savage. For 21 hours to look like Kodak Black when he first dropped, when he had the wigs. To look like a jit. You know what I'm saying? Or to have waves, like sis said. Like, you are the salt of the earth. They hate you because they love you. Like, we are literally what the curses say in Deuteronomy 28. We're an enigma to the other nations. We're a proverb. They don't understand how this great people, these people, they can run fast as a locomotive. You know what I'm saying? Jump over cars in a single bound. Jump out the gym. Like we breaking records every year in track and field. Every year. The previous year, like bro, like when I was in high school, to run a 10.9 or a 10.7 in 100 was considered fast. You know what I'm saying? They running nines, like sub nines, almost eights in the 100. A dude ran 3 miles in basically 15 minutes that won the Olympics. He ran 3 miles. Bro, do you know how fast that you basically running a mile in 4 minutes and 38 seconds to 5 minutes. A mile. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yet they see that you can do all of these things, but y'all can't come together. Y'all can't rise up. Like, y'all let us set up in your communities. We would never let you set up in ours. You open up JJ's barbecue in Chinatown and see how long you stay open. Hell, you might not even get a permit. You go to sleep at night. Ling Ling and came in there and hot wired all your electricity for it to short out to get you up out of there. They take some of them rats that they cooking and serving it as General Tso's chicken, and they release it into your spot. So the health inspector can come shut you down. See how quick, when you open up a spot in their community, how long you stay open. It won't be long, I guarantee you. But the gas stations is East Indians and Arabs. Your CBD spots and your THC spots is owned by the Arab. Matter of fact, it's so bad now, like literally right next to my apartment complex, the gas station, the CBD spot, the liquor store, and the washateer, and the daiquiri spot is owned by the same family. Oh, and the chicken spot and the taqueria that they got inside of it, it's all owned by the same family. These Arabs. Yeah, and the daughter-in-law owned the taco stand. The Arab is married to a Mexican. That's the only reason why she able to sit up there. So the washateer, the gas station, the chicken spot, the CBD smoke shop, the daiquiri shop, the liquor store. So that's so by the time you get when you get your check, you got to get gas, right? Okay, you want to get you a bottle for the weekend, right? Most of you Negroes are smoking, so you're gonna stop by the smoke shop, right? You know, you about to turn up, so you want to get live on the way to the club. We already right here. Let's get us a daiquiri. All right. And then when you come home, you're going to be like, dang, bro, look at that pile of clothes. So now you got to go wash your clothes. You got to go to the washateer. You know what I'm saying? So within less than 24 hours, you didn't spend all your money with One Nation. But guess what? It's Saturday. Your girl want to go get her nails done. So you're going to go send up the spot to the Vietnamese and the Chinese. She get out, girl, I got my nails done. Guess what? I got to get my hair did. Let's go to the beauty supply. Oh, I ain't done. You know what I'm saying? Then you roll around the corner. Man, we got to get some food. We go to the grocery store. Another Nation. You know what I'm saying? Man, we were grocery shop late. I don't feel like cooking. Let's hit a fast food spot. You getting hit like within 24 hours, 48 hours, 3/4 of your check gone, and you done spent it with every nation but your own. Cause you know your apartment ain't owned by no brother. You know what I'm saying? Your mortgage, the bank that you pay your mortgage to, it ain't owned by no brother or no sister. So 3/4 of your check, because we all know within the first 24 to 48 hours, 3/4 of your check is gone on bills. And we ain't even talking about all the streaming services and all the digital stuff you pay for. That ain't owned by no brother or no sister either. Go ahead, sis.
So like you said, if I could, and I don't know, I hope this don't sound no kind of way, but I don't necessarily see the benefit that Black communities get either when they do spend in Black businesses, because I would think because the mindset of the average Black person in America that has a business is it's like an American mindset. So I don't necessarily see how. I hope that don't sound bad, but do you understand what I'm saying?
Well, this is the issue, sis. The issue is that we lack brotherhood and sisterhood, right? So one thing that I'll say about Esau, they know how to manipulate you out that money. The biggest thing they push is what? Customer service. Do the customer service say? Can you do the survey? Look, you do the survey, you get a point off, a percentage off on your next meal. You know what I'm saying? So they treat you good to manipulate you to get you to come back. But Black people, Hispanic people, and Native American people have had less for so long. The moment that they get a leg up, they trying to get you out of all your money as quick as possible. So they're going to price gouge, right? So like where I can go to Walmart and get a hoodie with a design on it for $10, when I buy from my brother, he going to charge me $65 for the same type of hoodie and the same press-up style work. Because they trying to get as much as possible, as quick as possible. And they're going to push quality, which it is quality because we are the most stylish people on the face of the earth. But if anything, you should break bread with your brother and price gouge on your oppressor. But it's like you are 100% right, sis. Like the reason why we don't get ahead is because we lack brotherhood and sisterhood, i.e. in the business world, customer service. Like when we see our people, like we have the mentality of our oppressor. Oh, she not gonna tip. You know what I'm saying? She gonna try and haggle about the prices. She gonna buy it and bring it back. You know what I'm saying? She gonna go out and wear it, keep the tag on it, and she gonna wear it and bring it back. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he gonna steal. Watch him. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go back and go get these sneakers. He gonna try them on in the dressing room, and he gonna put his shoes he came in the sneaker box. He gonna steal. You feel the same way about your people as your oppressor. You are of your father, the devil, which is why you're celebrating Thanksgiving, because you love nothing more than celebrating your brother or your sister getting killed. You want to know how I know? When the last time you heard Sandra Bland name? When the last time you heard George Floyd name? When the last time you heard Philando Castile name? When the last time you heard Alton Sterling's name? It's when the last time you heard Breonna Taylor's name? It's like, we champion it for a time, and then we forget. They never forget the Alamo. They make a day for the Alamo. They don't let you forget their independence. They make sure everybody celebrates the 4th of July. It is a known fact that the CIA and the FBI murdered Malcolm X. Like, it's not even what they call it, a conspiracy theory. Like, the dossier is out. The Shabazz family is suing the United States government for the murder of their grandfather. But y'all don't talk about that. When the last time you heard somebody talk about, even though he was a Muslim, when the last time you heard somebody really talk about Malcolm X? You know what I'm saying? Or W.E.B. Du Bois, Carter G. Woodson. You know what I'm saying? You don't care about your brother. You don't care about your sister. You celebrate death because secretly you want to die. You hate it here. So instead of fixing what needs to be fixed, like when Moses took us out in the wilderness, you have the same spirit as the people that was in the wilderness said, did you bring us out of Egypt in the wilderness to die? It was better us being slaves. Instead of you having the mindset, okay, we're going to all work to get land and we're going to buy parcels of land next to each other to the point where it goes from 1 acre to 5 acres to 20 acres to 50 acres. You get 100 acres, that's a town, right? All of y'all got houses, okay? So we start building infrastructure around. We start making roads to each other. You got a neighborhood, right? Okay, we need stores. We need restaurants. Now we got industry, right? Okay, we need doctors. We got babies, we send them to school. Now we got healthcare, right? But you don't want to do the hard work. You don't want to do the hard thing. You want it to come easy to you because you lack brotherhood and sisterhood. You want to die. That's why you're going to eat that turkey, because you want to die. You celebrating the death of your brothers and sisters because you want to die. That's why you're going to eat that ham, because you want to die. You're going to eat them chitlins because you want to die. Keep reading. Let's get back to the story.
Pilgrim Miles Standish went to the Indians.
Slack it real quick. DeAndre, this is the history of Thanksgiving. It's an article. I'll post a link for it towards the end of class. Go ahead.
Pilgrim Miles Standish went to the Indians, pretended to be a trader.
Oh, finish Genesis 27. So we know that Miles Standish, he went to the Indians pretending to be a traitor. Let's find out why. Finish reading. Verse 40.
And by thy sword shall thy live.
By what?
And by thy sword shall thy live.
So the original point I was making, that Jacob was given the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven. Esau was given to dwell in the fatness of the earth and under the dew of heaven. And the only way that he could produce of these things, read verse 40 again, the beginning.
And by thy sword shall thy live.
The only way that he can get these things is he had to take it by force. Because he didn't know, he's not good at agriculture. He has to steal it. Go ahead, sis.
So, like, sir, if I could, so I noticed something in my slave. Like, I work under a lot of Edomites. My direct report as an Israelite, but like, whenever we have to like meet with the superiors, if there's like an on-site issue, their first mindset is like, well, let's call the lawyers. Let's get the lawyers involved. And it's like register in my head, like, y'all don't have no ability or no desire to talk to somebody and figure out a solution. You just go for the most cutthroat, like the most cutthroat solution you can think of immediately. That's your first instinct.
And what's crazy is literally the paragraph that you're about to read is gonna blow your mind, because that's literally what the Native Americans called them. They had a whole name for them that meant cutthroats. That's the spirit of them. You know what I'm saying? They lived by the sword. They took by the sword. They robbed by the sword. They raped by the sword. This is their spirit. So I pulled the scripture so you know this has been their spirit from the beginning. This was the blessing that Isaac gave. They don't just want to dwell in the fatness of the earth. They want to own it. So the only way that they can seize it is by force. All you got to do is just move there and the earth will just yield to you. Animals just walk up to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Esau got to kill them. He has to stalk and hunt them. You understand? In the scriptures, it said when it described Jacob, you understand? He said he was a plain man. You understand? When it described Esau, he said that he was a crafty hunter. Do you know what a crafty hunter is? Like, he invented a perfume that smelled like deer piss, so when he go hunting, he don't scare off the game. To create a whistle that quacks like a duck to attract ducks. That's a crafty hunter. What Miles Standish is doing right now is what they do to hunt. He's pretending to be a traitor so he can kill. This is what they do. Keep reading. Back on the story.
Pilgrim Miles Standish went to the Indians, pretended to be a traitor, and then beheaded an Indian man named YAHANNA. He brought the head to Plymouth.
To where?
He brought the head to Plymouth.
Yes, that was Plymouth Rock. Keep reading.
Where it was displayed on a wooden spike for many years.
Now you understand why Malcolm X said we didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. Keep reading.
Standish had the Indian man's young brother hang from the rafters for good measure.
It wasn't good enough that he killed him. He was like, just to make sure that the message is clear, I'm going to put his head on the spike and I'm going to hang his little brother. Keep reading.
From that time on, the whites were known to the Indians of Massachusetts by the name Watauquanong, which is in their tongue meant cutthroats and stabbers.
Because this is their nature. You understand? This is the reason why anything pop up, we're going to get the lawyers, because the lawyers are what? Cutthroats and backstabbers. Because they can't just physically shank you up anymore. They have to do it with litigation now. You understand? Keep reading.
Okay. A monument in Weymouth, rededicated in 1923 to commemorate the 300th anniversary of settlement, still bears testimony to the encounter between the natives and the white settlers under Miles Standish that killed Indian chiefs Pequot and Watuwamet in March 1623.
Keep reading.
By the mid-1630s, a new group of 700 even earlier holier Europeans, calling themselves Puritans.
All right, so the first group were the prisoners, right? First group was the prisoners, the sodomites, the thieves, and the murderers. Now, so they were sent to break the Native Americans. You understand? To soften them up. Now he's sending the Puritans, the zealots, to what they call purify the land. What does that sound like to you?
So like they about to kill them all.
Murder. You understand? This is the spirit that was made on developing this country. Keep reading. By the mid-1630s.
By the mid-1630s, a new group of 700 even holier Europeans, calling themselves Puritans, had arrived on 11 ships and settled in Boston, which only served to accelerate the brutality.
Only did to do what?
Which only served to accelerate the brutality.
So they was already raping, robbing, murdering. They accelerated the amount of raping, robbing, and murdering. But they're supposed to be holy people. Keep reading. Go to the next slide.
Hold up. Wait. Let me. Oh, okay. Here we go.
I think
I got it.
He got sent out of order. I think it's like 2 slides down by the mid-16.
No, I got it.
Okay. All right, cool.
In one incident in 1637, a force of whites trapped and killed some 700 Pequot Indians, mostly women, children, and the elderly.
Now we getting to it. Read.
Who had gathered for the annual Green Corn Festival.
The what festival?
Green Corn Festival.
The what festival?
Green Corn Festival near the mouth of the Mystic River.
Keep reading.
The next day, the governor of the Massachusetts Bay Colony declared a day of Thanksgiving.
A day of what?
A day of Thanksgiving.
A day of what?
A day of Thanksgiving.
Keep reading.
Because 700 unarmed men, women, and children had been murdered. This event marked the first actual Thanksgiving.
So it wasn't about Squanto, and it wasn't about the pilgrims sitting down, having a meal, holding hands, saying, now what are you thankful for? What are you thankful for? Let's thank the Lord for each other, this bountiful meal that we're about to have, this time with our families. No, it was about murder, mass murder. They wiped out a whole tribe. They committed genocide for the first Thanksgiving. Unarmed men, women, and children. Precept. Give me what I want. Give me Habakkuk 2:12. So you can understand the state of why America is the way it is today. That's like, you got it. It's like right. It's one of them the short ones right before the New Testament. If you want to pull it on your phone, that's fine. Uh, 2 and 12.
This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood.
Say that one more time.
Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood.
What does woe mean?
Destruction.
It means what?
Destruction.
Destruction. So destruction to who?
To him that buildeth a town with blood,
Mm-hmm.
and establisheth a city by iniquity.
The entire country was built with blood and established in iniquity. So what do you think is about to happen to America? It's about to be destroyed. Every single holiday they have is about murder and destruction. Every single one. 4th of July is about murdering Brits. Memorial Day is about killing people in Vietnam. All the people that's on the memorial wall. All the soldiers that have gone to war. Christmas is about mass murder. Like every ornament that you put on a tree is about mass murder. The bulbs represent the heads of the Israelites that refuse to kneel their feet to Baal. If you refuse to do it, they cut your head off and hang it on a tree. Lent, Ash Wednesday, has to deal with Tammuz. And if you refuse to celebrate Tammuz, guess what? You'd be killed. Easter, same thing. Ishtar, if you refuse to celebrate, guess what? You would be killed. Halloween, I mean, do I have to explain it? Every single thing that you celebrate in the United States of America is about mass murder. Everything. Of your people. Which is insane to me. Like, I be asking my parents sometimes, I mean, you never just thought to look up the origins of the holiday? Like, old Jolly St. Nick, I mean, it's pedophilia. A man sliding down your chimney, bringing the kids milk and cookies. I got presents for you. Why don't you come sit on my lap, ho, ho, ho.
Pedophile.
It's pedophile, man. Like, bro, and then you invite this spirit into your home. You got a Babylonian tree with bulbs to represent the heads of your people. You understand? And you taking your child to the mall to sit on the lap of a pedophile. And you bringing this spirit into your house year after year, and you wonder why our children are confused. Because you invoke these spirits in them at childbirth. I mean, you literally, each picture that you take is for all of these holidays, year after year, to see them grow up. You have a whole photo album of walking your children through the fire of Molech. You're sacrificing our babies to where they don't even have a chance. You were sacrificed and you didn't even have a chance. You didn't even get an opportunity to fight. You didn't know who you are. You didn't know who they were. You didn't know what they did. Imagine a day annually that we celebrate you getting punched in the face. How would you feel about that? Man, it's that time of year, bro. You know what I'm saying? You remember back in high school, bro, when they jumped you, they stumped you out, bro, and you was walking down, your eye was swole, bro. We gonna all get paint, and we gonna put black paint around our eye, and we gonna get the Jerome teeth to mimic the tooth that got knocked out of your face. What? you think that would make you feel? How do you think that would make your family feel? I mean, and every black and Hispanic person has Native American in their family. Am I lying? Every single one of us. But you gonna celebrate the mass murder of your people. The first Thanksgiving wiped out an entire tribe, a genocide of 700 unarmed men, women, and children. A town in the city built on blood and iniquity. Woe unto them. That's why in Revelation it says, come out of her, my people, so you be not partakers of their plagues and destruction. Because if Babylon is going to fall and you're still in Babylon, guess what? You're going to fall with it. You got to come out of it and separate spiritually. You talking about, we need to come together. You can't even come together. Like if anything can show you the mindset that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans have, look at what happened in this past election. Like, my wife literally just told me a story of her childhood best friend, one of my partners. He ready to square up with a nigga over politics that he didn't even vote for. Make it make sense. You didn't even vote. And you mad to the point of boxing and man, when you see your brother is on site, that's crazy to me. You fighting over two sides of a bird of prey that's killing your people. One side is pushing homosexuality, pushing prison, no reform. You understand? The other side is bringing economic terror in here and pushing us to war. It's a lose-lose situation. What are we talking about? But you don't want to pull together and get land. So we can just get away. Do you know how much undeveloped land it is in the United States? Hell, in Texas alone, do you know they did a study that all the people in the entire world can all fit in Texas? Did you know that? Did you know that? All the people in the world can fit in Texas. Did you know that? That's how big Texas is. So if that's the case, do you know how much undeveloped land it is in the United States? You don't got to deal with it. The Amish don't. The Amish do not. They operate outside of the law because they don't use their birth certificate. They don't use a social security number. So they're not tied to the system. You don't have to be tied to the system. You're ODing on convenience. It's convenient for you to go to one place and get gas, get drugs, get liquor, get daiquiris, get your nails done, wash your clothes. You understand? You're OD'd on lust and desire to fulfill your flesh. So because of that, you don't have the strength to fight because the scripture says, oppression makes a wise man mad and a gift destroys the heart. You've been destroyed by gifts. The gift of convenience. You don't have to make butter anymore. You can go buy it. You don't have to raise and slaughter your own chickens anymore. You can just go buy it. You don't have to raise up cattle and lamb so you can eat it. You can just go buy it. You don't have to grow your produce anymore. You can just go buy it. Like if you didn't have a car, it didn't matter. You had horses. You can still go down the street on your horse. Hell, if the corner store close enough, you can go to the corner store on your horse. I know niggas in Sunnyside that do it all the time. And they tie their horse to the little guardrail that stop people from running into the store. I see it all the time in Sunnyside. You've gotten too far away from your roots because you're ODing on convenience. And when you go out into the wilderness, you're going to be like, Moses, did you bring us out here to die? I don't have internet. Ain't no liquor store out here. You don't want to take the time to grow the corn so you can make your own whiskey. You don't want to take the time to grow your own grapes so you can make your own wine. See, because when we made things and we saw that we had things left over, we was like, well, we can't let this go to waste. What can we make so that this doesn't go to waste? That's where the genius came. That's where whiskey was made. Because they had all this corn from harvest that they couldn't sell. So what can we do with it so it doesn't go to waste and we got pests because we got rotten corn? Well, you know, when it starts to rot, it does have this fizziness that comes from it. It gets kind of rancid. Oh, that's fermentation. You know, my potatoes, they ferment too. Did you know that they have potato whiskey? You can almost make alcohol out of anything that ferments. This is where the genius came from. This is why they had to stop you with prohibition because it was too many bootleggers in the South. Like, we are the innovators. We're the creators. The sword is what now? The pen. That's how they kill you. Oh no, you need an LLC. Oh no, you need a permit. Oh no, you gotta file taxes. They kill you with paperwork. And if you don't file the paperwork, guess what? They do what they did then. They turn you into a slave. They put you in jail. Oh, no, you don't want to go to jail? We'll just murder you. What we did then. It's still rape, robbing, and murder. They just repackaged it. And they celebrate it every day in November. Call it Thanksgiving because we've killed all these blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We've enslaved all these blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We've robbed all of these blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Oh, it gets better. Keep reading. Get back to the story.
In just 10 years, 12,000 whites had invaded England and invaded New England. And as their numbers grew, they pressed for all-out extermination of the Indian.
All out what?
Extermination of the Indian.
Mm-hmm.
Euro diseases had reduced the population of the Massachusetts nation from over 24,000 to less than 750.
Now, peep this. When the Puritans came, they came with 700. They went from 700 to 24,000, and the Native Americans in that region went from 24,000 to 750 in 10 years. Let me do the math. Let's do the math. Go ahead, sis.
Salaka said, were they having babies with the Native American women? Is that how?
Oh, they raped them too? Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Let's see, 24,000 divided by 10. They murdered 2,400 Native Americans a year on average. On average, 2,400 Native Americans in that region a year. There are tribes and languages that you'll never hear from or hear again. There are whole nations that you'll never know of, cultures that you'll never hear about. In 10 years, on average, they wiped out 2,400 people annually, and each time celebrated Thanksgiving. Oh, we're going to show you how disgusting it was. Keep reading.
Meanwhile, the number of European settlers in Massachusetts rose to more than 20,000 by 1646. By 1675, the Massachusetts Englishmen were in a full-scale war with the great Indian chief of the Wampanoags, Metacomet, renamed King Philip by the white man. Metacomet watched the steady erosion of the lifestyle and culture of his people as European imposed laws and values engulfed them. When Captain Benjamin Church tracked down and murdered Metacomet in 1676, his body was quartered and parts were left for the wolves. The great Indian chief's hands were cut off and sent to Boston.
Now let me ask you a question. You see how well you know your history. Does this sound like a famous person that black people celebrate that was done to him? Anybody know who that person was and what happened to him? Go ahead, sis.
So like I said, I don't know who you're talking about, but it making me think of the mob or the mafia.
Like this little situation happened to someone that was a slave and rose up. Kunta Kinte is a made-up fictional character. And Kunta Kinte didn't do nothing revolutionary. Go ahead. Nat Turner. When they killed Nat Turner, they carved up his body and they put it in dip throughout the South as a warning to all the slaves. And you know that they still have not, his family just got his skull back. There's still pieces of his remains still missing and that are in these, what you call white oligarchy, high society families' homes as relics. They just got Nat Turner's skull back. But that's what they would do. When they would have lynchings, that's what they would do. When they would burn and char the body, they would go and cut off pieces as souvenirs. Fingers, toes, genitalia. This is the people who you're celebrating with that are thankful. They're thankful for your murder. Go to the next slide, the one that starts with just 2 years later.
Just 2 years later, one could reap a 50 reward in Massachusetts.
Hold on. That's not the one. Let me see. 16, 17. Oh, go back one. Where it says when you see it at the top where it says where Captain Benjamin Church tackled, it should be at the top.
When Captain Benjamin Church tracked down and murdered Metacomet in 1676.
No, you can drop down because you read that part where it says where it was set upon a pole. That's where you left off at.
No, I dropped out at where his body was quartered and parts were left for the wolves.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. The great Indian chief's hands were cut off and sent to Boston, and his head went to Plymouth, where it was set upon a pole on the real first day of public
Keep reading.
Hold on, I'm trying to look for the next. Day of public thanksgiving for the beginning of revenge upon the enemy.
Mm-hmm. So now they've had another Thanksgiving for having public revenge upon the enemy. Keep reading. We're going to blow through it because it's 9.
As the Native American Holocaust continued, several official Thanksgiving days were proclaimed.
Mm-hmm.
Governor Joseph Dudley declared in 1704 a general Thanksgiving, not in celebration of the brotherhood of man, but for God's infinite goodness to extend his favors in defeating and disappointing the expeditions of the Indians against us, and the good success given us against them by delivering so many of them into our hands.
So Thanksgiving is not about celebrating love and fellowship and brotherhood of all mankind. It's about thanking the Lord for the mass murder and clearing off of their enemies, the Native Americans. You understand? All right, so, and then, all right, now scroll all the way to the end where it says just 2 years later, and we'll end there.
Just 2 years later, one could reap a 50 reward in Massachusetts for the scalp of an Indian, demonstrating that the practice of scalping was a European tradition.
So now you know the reason why the Indians, why when they came up on any settler, they scalped them, right? Yeah. Because the Europeans did it to them, and that should let you know that the Native Americans are our people because they were firm believers in an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Yeah. You understand? That why do you think they changed the name of the Washington Redskins to the Washington Commanders? Because the Redskins was the scalp. That's why it was a Native American head with a circle around it. It's the scalp of the head of the Native Americans. That's what a redskin is. Keep reading.
According to one scholar, hunting redskins became a popular sport in New England.
And what's crazy is one of the biggest football games annually is the New England Patriots against the Washington Redskins. Like, they play it out in front of you year after year. Like, this is why it's set up the way it is. And then they're trying to sweep it up under the rug because too much information is coming out too fast. It's almost illegal to be woke. You understand? They want you to put you back to sleep. Keep reading.
Especially since prisoners were worth good money. The hidden history.
So scroll. You're gonna have to scroll far back to the left. And it's the one that starts off at the end of the conflict. Yeah,
I got it. At the end of that conflict,
go ahead.
Most of the New England Indians were either exterminated or made refugees among the French in Canada, or they were sold into slavery in the Carolinas by the Puritans. So successful was these early trades in Indian slaves that
in what?
In Indian slaves that several Puritan ship owners in Boston began the
practice.
Hold up.
You got to swipe all the way. That's why I was saying to go ahead and swipe all the way back to left. So the first paragraph on the slide is going to be at the end of the conflict of the New England Indians. It's like towards the beginning. I don't know why I sent it out of order. You see it? So from the beginning, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the fifth one from the beginning. Got it? Should start off at the end of the.
No, I don't see that one on here. Oh, okay.
You got it? Okay, cool.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
There
you go. So successful.
So successful was these early trade in Indian slaves that several Puritan ship owners in Boston began the practice of raiding the Ivory Coast of Africa for black slaves to sell to the proprietary colonies of the South, thus founding the American-based slave trade.
So the original slave trade started. Its incubation was started with the Native Americans, and it was so successful. It was like, you know what? We're gonna go to the Ivory Coast and we're gonna bring them over here too. Keep reading. It's the last paragraph.
The killings became more and more frenzied, with days of Thanksgiving feasts being held after each successful massacre.
So after every hunting party, they went out and massacred and killed Native Americans. They'd have a huge drunken orgy party. They was doing sodomy, you know what I'm saying, raping Native American women, killing them, robbing and plundering the dead bodies, and they would just be having a huge party, getting drunk, partying. And they would call it what? Keep reading.
George Washington finally suggested that only one day of Thanksgiving per year be set aside instead of celebrating each and every massacre.
They were killing so much and partying so much that they wouldn't get nothing done. It's like, all right. Look. We just gonna put aside one day to have one huge party and one huge feast for all the mass murder, all the robbery, and all the raping that we've done all year long. They were doing it so much and stopping what they were doing and having a Thanksgiving party for it so much that the president of the United States is like, hey, look, we're not getting nothing done. So I'm just going to make one Thanksgiving where we can just really let loose. And that's what you're going to do on Thursday. And your fool behind, you so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, and really more, the Native Americans know. They know the story. But your fool behind, you black, so-called blacks and so-called Hispanics, who both of y'all have Native Americans in your family, you gonna sit there like a fool and hold hands for what you thankful for, and it's about murdering your people. And they did it so much that they had to make one day, and the initial day was about genocide of an entire tribe. Like, where's your morality? Where is your heart? Because, everybody say, I got some Cherokee in my blood. I got some Choctaw. I got some Sioux. I got some Blackfoot in me. You know what I'm saying? I'm Taino. You know what I'm saying? My people, they from, Teotihuacan. You know what I'm saying? So-called Mexico City. We Aztecs. We Mayans. But you gonna celebrate this, and all of y'all got Native Americans in your family, and guess what? They are our family. We're the same people. You can't, until we're able to stand in solidarity and brotherhood and sisterhood, the cycle will continue. This is why the Most High told Christ that he has to send him expeditiously. Because if he doesn't, there'll be no one left to save. because you relish in the mass murder of your people. That's why you want to die. You yearn to die. Because you are of your father, the devil. You have the spirit of killing your people in you. This is why you should not celebrate Thanksgiving. If you have the option to go to work, go to work. If not, order some pizza. You understand? Be opposed. When Christmas comes up, stand apart. Every time you go and you see a Christmas tree and you see a bulb on it, imagine it's a decapitated head of one of your people, because that's what it represents. That's literally what it represents. Those ornaments, those are your people being hung from a tree, being lynched. Literally, that's what it represents. That's what it means. And I'll pull the proof. And I'm gonna blow your mind. Do you know what book it comes from? It comes from the book of Satan. Yeah, in their Bible. I'll pull that during Christmas time. And it literally laughs at you in the book because you're so stupid. You don't even realize that you're participating in a satanic ritual annually. And you wonder why our people are destroyed. It's because of lack of knowledge. You refuse to do what's necessary to educate yourself so you won't be ignorant and die. That's the reason why we get murdered by legislation, because you're ignorant, so you die. You don't know your rights, so you die. You don't know the law, statutes, and commandments, so you die. This is your wisdom in the sight of the other nations, but you refuse to accept it. You accept being a Gentile instead of being a child of God, so you die. And with that, this is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out at 1 West 125th Street. We shall say Amagium, which means to stand. Sar, which means to turn. We're going to face the east. We're going to do the Lord's Prayer first in Hebrew, then in English. Repeat after me. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakutah, Taba'ah, Ratazayaka, Hayah, Aisha, Baratazah, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Yatananawa, Lacham, Call, Yawam, Wasalak now, Kabawaki now, Kasalak now, Kabawaki now, Wala'ah, Kabi'ai now, Badasaya 1, Abal, Hawashai now, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Wahala, Wahata Para, La'awalumium, Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. So be it. Sar, turn and face the front. We give courtesy salute to the brothers and to the sisters. In Israel, Mighty Shabbat, Majid, Ra, Yahweh, Shim, Yahweh, Shah, Rakatah, Yahweh, Batah, Sar, turn and face the sisters. In Israel, Mighty Shabbat, Majid, Ra, Yahweh, Shemar, Yahweh, Shim, Yahweh, Shah, Yahweh, Batah, dismiss. I got you, Bazak.